I got into the trucking industry very young. My granddad and great uncle had Sawyer lines down in Winterset, and my dad had Sawyer Transport in Valparaiso, Indiana, and Minneapolis. I parked trucks and backed them up, and when I graduated out of school, my dad said, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I don't know. I think, I'll see what comes along." And he goes, "Well, there's a truck that leaves Sunday from Chicago going to New York City, LTL, so why don't you get on it?" So I did that for 6 months, and then I had enough LTL, and then I went truckload, did truckload, went around the country, and then I retired and went to work for the railroad. I was with the railroad for about 8 years, and they had an early retirement at 28. So I took a year off, skied out west and in Canada, and biked around Europe, and came back and taught accounting back in Columbus, and ended up coming out here, and the rest is history. Des Moines Transportation originally was a LTL company back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s that eventually got bought out in the 70s. And my dad wanted to start a company, and he just used the name. Bernie Baker's relatives said that's fine. The insurance company said, we got to split the brokerage from the trucking part. So we started DMTC Incorporated, which is the trucking side, and then Des Moines Transportation is still the freight brokerage side. At the office, we have 4 brokers, 3 in accounting, and then we have 70 owner-operators, 3 teams. Most of them have been there forever. My wife Wendy's the principal in Winterset. We have 4 children. Every Sunday we get together for a Sunday meal, and then of course I see 2 of them at work every day. My son started when he was 16, and he's director of safety now. My daughter Madison, she's been there 5 years now, mainly in the accounting, and well, with a small company, you do everything. She does everything around there. Working for your father or working for me is a tough thing. You have your ideas, and you're a baby boomer, and my dad was whatever that was, and now we have the millennials that we have to work with, and you have different priorities, different ideas, and it's tough working with family, but it's great. It's great. Every day is different in trucking, and it's a small company, so you always have something on your plate that you got to get done. Plus, you have all these people counting on you. 70 families of drivers, you have 12 families of employees. You need to juggle everything to keep things working and hopefully look a little to the future. But what I try to have everybody do is dot their I's, do the little things, because 9/11 comes along, that there's nothing you could have done. 2008, the economic depression and recession, nothing you could do but be prepared, dot your I's, be conservative, save your money. My mentors, mainly it's my mother and father. My father, of course, World War II guys that they didn't know if they were coming back, and his philosophy was to go for broke most of the time. And he did. And my mother, on the other hand, they went bankrupt and lost their farm in the Depression and moved to Iowa City in somebody's basement, one of her relatives. And she never forgot that. And, to the day she died, she'd call me up every day and say, "Hey, I turned off 3 lights in your house that those kids must not understand." So, you have the conservative side, then you have the go for broke side. So I probably lean more towards my mother's side, but I understand the other part. You need to take risk. Everything. You take a risk when you walk across the street. The major issue facing our company is employees, getting motivated, intelligent people who want to work. But the other thing is half our employees are going to retire in 10 years or 15 years. So there's going to be a big transition. And unfortunately, as a sole proprietor, owner, you don't want to let go of things, and you try to do too much. And even though you might not know what's best, you need to trust the other people and get other people going and motivated, because we're not all going to be here forever. The infrastructure funding needs to improve, and we're going to have to get funding from different sources. One being, of course, a mileage tax on these battery-powered cars, higher fuel taxes as that promotes less travel and better, more efficient cars. And we can't defer our maintenance on bridges like we've done in the past. And sure, we can get a lot of money from the federal government, but we need to grow our own funding too. My favorite memory with the IMTA is probably the Savory meeting with John Ruan and everybody down there. We took the bus. We had the meeting down in the lobby of the hotel. It was 50 years, 1942 to 1992. It was pretty awesome. You know, my granddad was part of it and everything. It's just exciting. I guess that's my favorite memory. The IMTA has helped me and our company. I mean, without the IMTA, we wouldn't be here because the benefits that we provide, be it the health care or be it the permitting, but the major one is the safety. The training my son gets with the Safety Council and the drivers, like the motivation for the truck driving championships, and Nick Thummel talking about the problems they have with the wings and the fuel cards. And you don't hear that from the salespeople, but your peers, they're like, yeah, I can relate. Yeah, I've gotten so much out of IMTA, I owe it back to IMTA. And you can't just ride on the coattails of Murray Fitzer and all these other people that do all this hard lifting, and here you are, you know, getting all the benefits. My final thoughts as incoming chairman, I appreciate this opportunity to work with everyone, and the leadership at the IMTA will make it much easier for me. But if there's anything anybody wants to contact me about, since I'm the chairman, call me.